beautiful day to finally get our hands on repairing this beast. Commander 1000. Quite a machine. And here we have the ROTAX 1000 engine. This contraption was brought to us, so if you're curious about what's going on with it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and of course, kindly support the armed forces of Ukraine. And traditionally, enough talking, time to get to work. So what do we have with this machine? Here's the issue. We turn the key, BRP logo pops up, everything looks great, the fuel pump is buzzing, everything seems fine, but then it flashes service soon. That's what we're dealing with. Our key is the performance key, the coolest one. There are 3 colors and we've got the most fun one. It also shows the buckle seatbelt message. Let's try to start it. And nothing. Just silence. Out of curiosity, I'll buckle the seatbelt. Maybe it doesn't want to start without it. Okay, belt is in. Let's try again. Brake pressed. Park mode, go. And... silence. No response at all. So, let's push this thing into the garage and figure out what's going on. To reach the main components of this beast, we need to remove the seat and a few panels, which is what we'll do now. Considering that Can-Am often overcomplicates things, here the seat removal is actually simple, at least on this side. There's a lever, you pull it, the seat slides out, and then you lift it up. No extra bolts or complicated stuff. This improvement appeared on later models, while earlier ones were the usual pain. Okay, something got stuck, but we're through. Now we've reached the holy of holies, the dipstick. Let's check the oil level. Measuring? Well, the level is at minimum. I won't pretend I didn't know that, but surprisingly, the oil itself looks clean. Still, we'll have to figure out why it's giving us the service mode warning. On the Titan dipstick, it looks sufficient. But still, with oil, at least it's fine for now, and that's good news. Let's move on and remove the protective panels to access the engine. We'll check spark, compression, the usual stuff. Panels are off, and now we've got access to the fuel pump and 1 spark plug on each side. So let's start with a compression test. Our compression gauge is in place. Let's see what we've got. On idle, we're getting 8. I'd say that's excellent compression. Let's check the other side. For this, you'll need a 16mm socket. It's a bit tricky, but I managed to get the tool in there. Gauge is connected. Let's measure. The second cylinder shows about 10, and sometimes it spikes up to 10. That's great. That should be more than enough for starting. Now let's check spark. It's perfect. Good. Now our fuel pressure gauge is connected. Let's see. Wow, we've got 3.5 bar and the needle doesn't drop. That means the regulator is working fine. Next, let's inspect the valves, their clearances, the timing chain alignment, and ignition timing. For that, we'll need to remove the fuel tank to get to the crankshaft and rotate the magneto. Not sure if we can do this without removing the side plate, but we'll see. If anything unusual pops up, I'll show you. Didn't expect to be digging through dirt here, but it was filthy. Had to clean up. Clearly, nobody ever touched this before. Now we see the ROTAX engine in all its glory. Time to get to the magneto so we can rotate it and set our timing, check valves, and the cam chain. To do that, we remove the cover here, take out the Hall sensor, and line up our TDC marks for measuring valve clearance. Covers are off. Starting with the rear cylinder head, it should show number 2. If we check, the valves should be loose, and here the mark should be horizontal. At this point, the valve clearance should be intake 0.06 to 0.14, exhaust 0.11 to 0.19. So, what did we get? Intake is fine, around 0.10, perfect. But exhaust valves, they're too tight. The 0.10 gauge goes in, though it shouldn't. That means they're pinched. We'll loosen them up, then move to the front head. That one's harder since we'll need to remove the intake system, but we'll have to do that anyway to get to the electronic throttle body. After adjustment, we now have intake at 0.06 to 0.14 and exhaust at 0.11 to 0.19, exactly as per manual. Checked both front and rear with marks aligned. Everything's spot on. Timing chains are lined up correctly too. Now this assembly is in order. Later we'll recheck compression again, but for now, valve adjustment is done. Next, we'll move on to inspecting the throttle body and making sure it functions properly. I pulled out the injectors. Here's the front one. Here's the rear one. Now we'll check how they're doing. Pressure is holding. All right, let's test how they spray, whether they're getting impulses, and if both are working. One more time. Let me take a closer look with my eye. It's not so convenient through the camera. I switched on the camera for a bit, but in the meantime, I removed our throttle body. Everything here is clean, neat, just as it should be. While I was at it, I also cleaned it and washed the air sensor. But here's the thing. Someone has already soldered or patched it up here, not sure. But this part is supposed to be sealed. That could be one of the reasons why it's not working properly. Now let me show you. There's this hose that goes here. According to the manual, it should carry 1.5 bar. I got it mixed up earlier. From here, we've got 3.5. That's correct, it should push like that. I thought it was too much, but that was my mistake from not reading the manual carefully enough. But in this tube, there should also be 1.5 bar. And what does it do? That pressure is supposed to go into the air filter box. Here's where it connects. This hose goes in here and pushes 1.5 bar of air directly into our throttle body. I don't know the exact name of that part. If you know, drop it in the comments. Anyway, there should be 1.5 bar of pressure here, and the sensor is supposed to read it. From that, the system pushes fuel into the combustion chamber. Because right now, if we try to start it, it's just shooting fuel back out here, even though the valves are set correctly. That means the fuel isn't getting pressed properly into the cylinder, as far as I understand. I'll also check here again, because the owner said he replaced the fuel pump. It seems to be working fine, but he swapped the pump and left this old, black, nasty fuel filter. So I already ordered a new filter. We'll try replacing it, because the old one is black, completely clogged, no light passes through it, it doesn't let anything through at all. So what do we have in the end? The starter died, and because of that, a whole bunch of problems popped up. I replaced the spark plugs, replaced the wires. Spark is good now. With quick start spray, I even managed to fire it up briefly, but the starter gave up completely. And here's where it sits. To get it out, we need to remove this cover and the whole variator assembly. And here's where it gets interesting. This is the state of our variator. I had to use a special tool to pull it off, and I ended up breaking that tool. Normally, you screw it in. There's a rod inside, you tighten it with a wrench, and it comes off. But judging by its condition, no one has ever done this before. And now the whole job falls to me. This is what the part is supposed to look like. And here's what we've got. Usually when that rod breaks, you can thread in a bolt, use a slide hammer. I've already reinforced mine since the standard one was bending. Even with welding and reinforcement, the only thing that happens is it chews up the metal here. And you can't hit it too hard either. Otherwise, you risk damaging the engine, bearings, or even pulling out the crankshaft. So the decision was made. We're going to cut, remove that cover, and replace the part. But to do that, we'll have to cut it off. You'll see all that in the next episode. So if you're interested, as always, subscribe, hit the like button, and drop a kind donation to support the armed forces of Ukraine. And see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.